your 10-minute sports report. I am your host, Captain Boring, for the next 10 minutes or so. I'm going to get you all caught up. So really, I've been gone a week. I just kind of, the last video that I put out of the sports report variety hasn't been since the 15th. So exactly a week from today. Whether that will kind of continue while we're a little slower or if it will pick up, not really sure. I do know the podcast is on a little bit of a hiatus. Last week we did not put out a new episode. This week we probably won't put out a new episode just because it was a lot to go over. Still though, if you want to interact with me, the best way to do that now is to go watch the Bears franchise. All those videos are on this channel. They are all they are all in a playlist, the Bears franchise. Go check them out. I have a lot of fun with it. It's just me playing Madden, kind of talking you through stuff. So it's a lot of fun. So that's the best way to interact with me. So go comment, like those channels, share those with all of your people in your lives who like Madden, which for the people who watch these 10-minute sports report are me and probably me. So don't share them with me. Find someone new to share them with. Okay. Let's get you all caught up from the last week. NBA standings, NHL standings, got a little NFL playoffs to catch you up on. Harbaugh drama, etc., etc. We will start in Ann Arbor, in the land of Harbaugh. Well, here's the thing. He might not be in Ann Arbor that much longer. Harbaugh and the Chargers are expected to meet again this week for a second interview to be the team's head coach. Harbaugh and the Chargers have been linked since the owner, Dean Spanos, fired former coach Brandon Staley and General Manager Tom Telesco on December 15th. Harbaugh, who played quarterback 14 years in the NFL and spent his final 2 seasons with the Los Angeles Chargers from 1999 to 2000, will get a second interview, along with the Atlanta Falcons, who are also scheduling a second interview with Harbaugh. First interviewed with Atlanta last Tuesday. An ESPN source confirmed. Harbaugh is considered one of the most desirable candidates of this postseason hiring cycle because of his record of winning at both collegiate and the NFL levels. He was with the 49ers from 2011 to 2014, where he had a 44-19-1 record, including a Super Bowl appearance, a missed holding call in the end zone away from winning that game against his brother, John Harbaugh. Harbaugh is the first Charger candidate known to have scheduled a second interview. So Robert said he found a source that said Chargers are probably going to offer a 5-year, $90 million contract, which is like 18 million a year, which means that Michigan's 10-year, $125 million contract is not enough. And here's what I would say. It's harder to coach college right now, more time consuming in college than it is NFL. So if Michigan wants him back, they better step up the price tag game. I think Harbaugh wants to be in the NFL and give that one last rodeo. He returned Michigan to his glory. I think Michigan should say, you know what? You do you, boo-boo. We're going to go hire Sharon Moore and let him start building the staff and getting ready for spring ball. That is just my personal opinion. Speaking of spring ball and personal opinion, former Alabama quarterback Julian Sayin is transferring from Alabama to Ohio State. Ohio State has rocked the transfer portal cycle. Sayin entered the NCAA transfer portal Friday in the wake of Nick Saban's retirement from Alabama. He's the number 3 overall prospect in the class of 2024 and the top overall offensive prospect in his recruiting class. He plans to roll at Ohio State soon and will participate in spring practice. Listen, Alabama saw Nick Saban retire and then saw everyone leave for Ohio State. Caleb Downs, Josh Downs' brother, who plays in the NFL, the safety, transferred to Ohio State. Julian Sayin transferred to Ohio State. Another player transferred to Ohio State. Quinshon Judkins, not from Alabama, but from Ole Miss, transferred to Ohio State. Ohio State is trying to pay to beat Michigan to compete for national titles. It is amazing when you lose to your rivals, what changes in that program. And it is amazing. So they are trying to buy success, basically, is what Ohio State is doing. Do I blame them? No. Did I wish all those years that Michigan was down against Ohio State and just terrible and in one of the worst periods of Michigan football history that they would just buy success and cheat and bend the rules? Absolutely. I did. In hindsight, did we cheat and bend the rules? Maybe. Did it matter? No. And we still won the Natty. So all things come, they're trying to buy success, not buy culture. And that's what the transfer portal and NIL does. Michigan built a culture. Georgia has a culture. They're not buying success. So we'll have to see if it works. More power to that team down south. All righty, let's get you guys all caught up on the playoffs. So last week I would have covered the wild card. The only thing I probably wouldn't have covered are the Monday night matchups. So dating all the way back to the 15th, 1 week ago today, Pittsburgh went to Buffalo, and Buffalo came away with a 31-17 win. It was actually a lot closer than that. Buffalo got a late touchdown, but this game was a 7-point game at one time in the second half. Philadelphia went to Tampa Bay and just put a capper on how the season ended. 32-9, they got blown out. Baker Mayfield threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He is the second quarterback in Tampa Bay Buccaneers postseason history to do that. The other, Tom Brady. So he is one of 6 quarterbacks to win 2 different playoff games with 2 different franchises, joining, there's a bunch. I think it's Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers didn't do it. Like, there are a bunch of great. So Baker Mayfield joins that list. Now, this past weekend, what happened, what transpired? So Saturday, Sunday, 20th, 21st, Houston, the young and up-and-coming Houston Texans went to Baltimore and just got throttled. This Baltimore Ravens defense is winning national championships for Michigan. It is winning divisional playoff games for Baltimore. This Mike McDonald, Jesse Minter, Baltimore Ravens defensive tree is just excellent. Jesse Minter is probably going to be in a position to get a head coaching job as soon as Baltimore season is over. They throttled Houston 34-10. It was not even that close. CJ Stroud was 175 through the air, 68 to Nico Collins, but that was it. Like, they got a punt return for a touchdown and a field goal on their first drive, and that was it. They did nothing else the rest of the game. Then at night, the game of the day, Green Bay went to San Francisco and had a late lead with 7 minutes left, and watched San Francisco drive and drive and drive down the field, take the game leading touchdown, and then Jordan Love, who had come on in the playoffs and at the end of the season, threw a game-sealing interception to Fred Warner, and the number 1 seed San Francisco 49ers survived 24-21. So both the 1 seeds in the AFC and NFC are still in it. Yesterday, Tampa Bay went to Detroit and lost. Baker Mayfield, 1 and done. He threw for another 349, 147 to Mike Evans, but Detroit too much. 31-23. Detroit, after not making the playoffs in 30 years, now have won 2 playoff games and will be in their first NFC championship game since Barry Sanders was the running back. Incredible. Their head coach, Detroit's head coach, Dan Campbell, was in high school last time they made an NFC title game. And then in probably the game of the day, Kansas City Chiefs went into Buffalo for Patrick Mahomes' first road playoff game. And Patrick Mahomes did Patrick Mahomes things, threw threw for 215 yards, 75 of them to Travis Kelce. Isaiah Pacheco ran for 97 yards on the ground. Patrick Mahomes, 17 to 23, 215, 2 touchdowns. The game-leading touchdown in the fourth quarter. And Buffalo drove down the field, attempted a 30-plus yard field goal, and their kicker missed it wide right. And so Buffalo Bills, who have been knocked out the last 2 times in the playoff by Patty Mahomes, had him at home in cold weather on the ropes. Fourth quarter lead and could not get it done. Patrick Mahomes has been in the league 6 years. 6 years. He has gone to the AFC title game. How about that for greatness? The only person to beat Patrick Mahomes in the postseason is Tom Brady. How about that? No other quarterback. Well, I guess Joe Burrow also beat him. So it's Joe Burrow and Tom Brady. But then Patrick Mahomes beat Joe Burrow the next year. All right, coming up this weekend, conference championship. It will be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens, 3 p.m. CBS. And then that will be followed by the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers at 6:30 on Fox. NBA standing, it's been a whole week and a whole lot has changed. So Eastern Conference wise, I'm just going to go with the standings. I'm not going to go team by team because, let's be honest, this is just way easier. Boston Celtics lead the East at 33-10. They lead the East over the Milwaukee Bucks by 3.5 games. They are 7-3 in their last 10 and won their last time out, so their streak is 1. Milwaukee Bucks, 29-13, 3.5 games back. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Philadelphia 76ers are a half game behind the Bucks for second and 4 games back of the Celtics for first place. They're 6-4 in their last 10 on a 5-game winning streak. The Cleveland Cavaliers, though, they are coming on strong, 6.5 back of the Boston Celtics. So do the math. That's only 2 back of the 76ers. They're 8-2 in their last 10 on a 7-game winning streak. A game and a half behind them are the New York Knicks, who are 8-2 in their last 10 and on a 3-game winning streak. The Heat, the Pacers, the Magic, the Bulls, and the Hawks are 6-10. The Heat and Pacers are tied at 9 games back. Magic are 10 games back. Bulls 12.5. Atlanta Hawks 14.5. If we go out west, the Minnesota Timberwolves at 30-12 are still cooking the West. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They did lose their last time out. The Thunder and the Denver Nuggets, Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets are both 1 game back. Both are on 2-game winning streaks. The Thunder are 6-4 in the last 10. The Nuggets are 7-3. The LA Clippers are now 2.5 back of the Timberwolves, a game and a half back a second. They are 8-2 in their last 10 on a 2-game winning streak. Then it goes the Pelicans are 5.5 back. The Mavericks are 6 back. The Suns are 6 back. The Kings are 6.5 back. The Lakers and the Jazz both are 9 back. The hottest team in the West currently are the Phoenix Suns in terms of winning streak. They've won 5 in a row and are 7-3. Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors are 18-22, 11 games back, so only 2 games back in the play-in. But they're 3-7 and on a 2-game losing streak in their last 10. Embarrassing. Let's switch over to those crazy kids on the ice. In the Eastern Conference, the Bruins, the Panthers, the Maple Leafs lead the way with 65, 58, 54 points respectively. Bruins on a 4-game winning streak. In the Metropolitan, we have the Rangers, the Flyers, the Hurricane, 60, 56, 55 respectively. In the West, in the Central, the Jets, the Avalanche, the Stars, 64, 63, 60. The Jets are 9-1-0 on a 2-game winning streak in their last 10. The Avalanche are 7-3-0, and the Stars are 5-3-2 on a 1-game losing streak. In the Pacific, the Canucks, the Knights, the Oilers, 66-59-53. The Oilers, last time we checked in, were on a 10-game winning streak. They've won 3 straight since then, so they are now up to a 13-game winning streak. They're hot, 10-0-0 in their last 10. Canucks, 8-1-1. Knights, putzing around, 6-4-0, so at least they're winning some. Kraken have fallen off quite a bit. They've lost their last 4 games. They're 6-4-0, and the Anaheim Ducks are 2-7-1 in their last 10 on a 3-game losing streak. So how that looks in the playoff: the Bruins, the Panthers, the Maple Leafs, the Rangers, the Flyers, the Hurricanes, followed by the Red Wings and the Lightnings, all tied at 53 for the wild card. Just the Lightning and the Red Wings there. The Islanders have 51, and then the Capitals have 50 there. Out west, Jets, Avalanche, Stars, Canucks, Knight, Oilers, which I went over. Those are the 3 division leaders. Then the wild card, the Kings with 52 points, the Predators with 51 points. Kraken are not out of it. 47 points, a little over halfway since, so they're only 4 points out. They just need to get it together here and hope some other teams maybe cool off a little bit. And that'll do it for this rendition of the 10-Minute Sports Report. Thank you, everyone, for being here and tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will either be back later this week or next week. Who knows? Probably no podcast episode. Go engage with me on the stream stuff because I'm having a lot of fun doing that. Follow me on Twitch. Captain Boring is the name. So go look that up and you will find me. Until next time, everyone, know God loves you. I pray God blesses you. Wash those hands, you filthy animals, and peace out.